Jada Pinkett never loved Will Smith. What up, where's your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Head over to CLBMG.com right now. The worst thing Will Smith, in my opinion, did was marry Jada Pinkett Smith. And I don't think that we knew the extent of this female's mental capacity. I'm looking at Jada right now in 2023. I see a whole different woman than when we was all in love with her back in the 90s. We had this crush on her. But as I'm looking at it, I'm like, bro, we should have seen this coming. This girl was super smart, super calculating, super just dope, right? But dope can be death when you don't understand that everything she does is calculated. Jada just did this interview with Hoda Kotb, right, on NBC. And she says that her and Will Smith, after all this stuff has happened with August Alsina, after the slap on the Oscars, after him going into seclusion for months, all of this stuff that we've been privy to, all of their business out there, she's trying to say since 2016, they've been divorced. Not divorced, I'm sorry, separated. And they haven't been man and wife since then. And she's claiming that at the Oscars when he hit Chris Rock, and he said, keep my wife's name out your mouth, that she hadn't heard him say that she was his wife, and she hadn't called him her husband in years. She was shocked. She was shocked that he said, my wife. He said, we don't even say that to each other no more. She's claiming that she had no idea he was going to do that, and she definitely didn't tell him to do that or motion to him to do that. It's about some quote-unquote old stuff as to why he slapped Chris Rock, some back-in-the-day stuff. She's also saying that Chris Rock shot his shot at her because he thought they were separated, right? All of that is new news because you could have said all this before. But now she got this book coming out, right? And I feel like when you wait to tell real stuff for a book, that right there tells you everything you need to know. Every time I hear people, and people they're being told to do that by their PR people and their managers, save it for the book. When you wait till you drop the book, da-da-da. But it's starting to look like when you wait to drop your book, and that's when you want to reveal all these things, that you're manipulating and conniving. I'm just going to be a buck with you. You're going to spill all this stuff. You're making Will look crazy out here right now. Once again, the memes are well deserved. Once again, Will is out here. They got the crying memes and all this stuff coming back because Will out here, he's not saying nothing to defend himself. And she's up there doing a story saying I only went with him to the Oscars because he asked me to go. Not because that's my husband and we're in love. We weren't even in the same spaces. He just asked me to go to the Oscars with him and I went. And I asked myself, you knew Chris Rock was going to be doing jokes and you knew he probably was going to hit you with a joke. Because the last time he did the Oscars, he hit you with a joke. And you claim that he called you and apologized. So you're going to go through all that for a situation you don't even have to be in because you're not married to him. My thing is you're keeping up the lie. You went because you're keeping up the lie. The lie is she's going to get more out of being Will Smith's wife than not being his wife. Let's just be honest. If you guys have been separated since 2016, you told us a lot of other stuff. We ain't know about the entanglement until you told us. So if you were separated since 2016, 99% of the flack you got for messing with August Alsina would have been kaput if you would have said we're separated. 99% of that would have been gone into smoke. Most of the people online would have been like, she ain't with him no more. Why you giving her a problem? She could do what she want to do. Now, people still would have been like, well, that was his friend. That was Jaden's friend. She had no business sleeping with. But most people were riding for Will. Had you told us years ago that y'all was separated, a lot of this stuff wouldn't have mattered. I think she liked the space that the narrative was their relationship goals. And they got a lot of props. They got a lot of doors open for them because they were this royal couple. A lot of people were trying to be them. They were trying to be Obama and Michelle Obama, right? They were trying to be Jay-Z and Beyonce. They were relationship goals, Papoose and Remy, right? Everybody wanted that black love, and they were the poster child for it. But the more you hear them talk, they couldn't stand each other, to be honest. Now, if you're going to tell me we were separated, it's 2023, you're going to now tell me this, what's that, 7 years later, after all this drama? You're going to tell me because you got a book coming out? And then you're going to go so far as to say Tupac was your soulmate and that he proposed to you while he was in prison? It reeks of opportunism. Now it's cool for the narrative to be they weren't together. So now you want to write a book and say we weren't together. But the narrative was cool a few years ago to say we are together. At some point, that is manipulating. At some point, that is narcissism. And at some point, Will didn't deserve that. After he slapped Chris Rock, he got on the stage to accept his Oscar and said love will make you do some crazy things. That means that man did that out of love for you. Now you're going on Holder's show saying you were shocked as everybody else that he did it and you didn't tell him to do it. And you were asking, what did you do? What happened? Because you quote unquote couldn't see. You were looking and he was blocking. You thought the slap was a bit. Right? Now, I didn't see much after that. You sat right there after the slap, let him get his award and everything. I'm going to be honest. And I can't tell you what to do, but if that's me, I'm going to be like, let's go. You just slapped this man. You're not going to sit here and wait for your Oscar. Let's go. Now, because now you embarrass me. She said that everybody made her the villain. Yeah, everybody did make you the villain because you stood there. You sat there like a supervillain. You rolled your eyes and he knew what was next. Let me go do what I got to do. Now, if it's some old stuff, he could have slapped him a long time ago. And he laughed first. Then he looked over and saw you with the supervillain look. And then he was like, let's go. I'm a henchman. Let me go do my job. Right? No accountability for what this man has been going through in the name of trying to please you. And I'm just going to be a buck. Some men really love people to a degree where they're blinded. And I think that, in my opinion, I'm just going to be a buck with you. I feel like Will should not have apologized if this is what he thought he had to do for his wife. If you had to do this for your wife's honor, she got alopecia, then we ain't apologizing about nothing. I slap him again. Right? They already banned him from the Oscars for 10 years. I'm going to slap him again when I see him again. This was for my wife. He sat there, accepted his award, cried, and said, love will make you do some crazy things. Didn't apologize to Chris at that night of. He and Philly did nothing wrong. Let's be honest with you. Now Jada's out. She got a new book. Now she's, oh, I didn't know he was going to do this. I don't call him husband. He don't call me wife. We ain't married. I ain't with this dude. I don't even know this dude like that. That's what it sounded like. He got up there and slapped him for no reason. I ain't had nothing to do with it. And yeah, I got a book coming out. And Tupac is my soulmate. He asked me to marry him. I should have did it. That's what it sounded like. I don't know how this man could ever be seen in public with this woman again. He went on that godforsaken red table talk and made himself look even more of a fool. And you're not a fool when you're in love, but you do some foolish things. And she's like, oh, this is not him when he went out there and slapped him. This is that 100%. I don't know. Because when he sat down, he wasn't remorseful. He started screaming on it. Keep my wife's name out your mouth before I come up there again. And these people didn't kick him out of there for that. If that was anybody else, it would have been 15 security guards bum rushed him. Yanked him up. Champagne would have been spilled. Oh, get off me. It would have got crazy in there. But Jada is the master pupperizer, and it's starting to be clear that everything she's doing is calculated. I've never looked at this woman so sideways in my life. And she's still beautiful, right? But that beauty becomes ugly when you realize those wheels are spinning up there and she's thinking of the next little scenario of how to spin the narrative, right? Even on Red Table Talk, the Jada we're getting with this interview ain't that Jada that was on Red Table Talk. This interview, she was mad freaking direct. Very, very purposeful in what she's saying. She didn't dodge no questions. She wasn't trying to be nice and sweet. She had the look on her face like, yep, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Now, on Red Table Talk, everything was calmer and we're just going to arrive in a place of love. We're going to do this as a family. Spiritually, we're going to find healing, right? Two different people. That was not the Jada we got in this interview. She was like, yeah, that dude crazy. I don't know what. I'm going to ride with him anyway, but he crazy. And I ain't been with him. I'm going to ride with him, but I ain't with him. We ain't been together since 2016, but I'm going to ride with him now. As I tell him, what did you do and why would you do that? I didn't actually do that. But I'm going to ride with him. By riding with him, she mean I'm going to be silent about it for months. Chris Rock really laid into them when he did his comedy special. And as awkward as it was to watch, they deserved it. They deserved it. Because when you peel back the layers, one grown man stood up and slapped another grown man that he knew he could beat. Most likely. Over a joke. A G.I. Jane joke. She played up that alopecia thing with Holder Boy. Played it up. I did this for all the women with alopecia. Right? He didn't say nothing about no alopecia. He didn't say, girl, your alopecia look crazy out here. You had said you were proud of your bald look. He didn't say nothing was wrong with it. He said, G.I. Jane 2, I'm down to see that. How is that making fun of alopecia? But see, the narrative is you needed to be protected because he was making fun of a very nasty disease that no one can not put it like this. This is a disease that we can't control and we should not be made fun of it. And that's true. There's a lot of things you should not be made fun of. But at the end of the day, a joke is a joke. And he didn't single you out for your alopecia. He didn't even say you looked bad with it. So I'm trying to figure out how this deserved you rolling your eyes and Will going up there to slap him. End of the day, this is bad wife. And I think she's distancing herself from Will. Once again, because the narrative is Will is toxic. He just did the Slave movie, which before the slap would have probably did well. After the slap, I don't know. It went straight to Prime or wherever it went to. I don't know the numbers. I don't know who watched it. I don't know what happened. But almost everything he's attached to right now is going to really be looked at sideways because nobody can think about nothing else but the slap. And it's been 2 years. So right now, the move is, I need to separate myself from this slap. I need to put it all on Will. Whether she's doing it consciously or subconsciously, that's what she's doing. Because now she has just given you every single answer you're going to ask her about the slap. She really don't have to answer it no more. Because what she just told you is, I was sitting there shocked just like everybody else. Will did that on his own. So go ask Will why he did it. She's not taking nothing. When it comes to this August Alsina, none of it. It all got a easy peasy excuse. All got a little nice little in a bow reason of why this happened, why that happened. And now just go read my book about me and Tupac, the life we could have had. Right? It's foul, it's wrong. And Jada is way too old. Way too old to still be playing games with dudes like this. And should we feel sorry for Will? No, because this is a millionaire. Grown man that made his own decisions. And we can't keep putting grown men in situations that we got to be, oh my God, why was she doing this to him? No, you're grown, bro. You in your 50s just like me. And at some point, you're going to have to be like, look, chick, listen, I'm good with all that, right? Yes, I feel like he was manipulated. You know how they have these Dateline episodes where the woman manipulates the guy to go kill her husband or something crazy, and he's in love, so he goes and does it, right? And then come to find out, she's acting like she never knew he was going to do it, and he goes to jail, and she goes off with whatever money she got from the insurance. I feel like Jada was an opportunist back in the day, and she lined Will up. Yes, she may have loved him to a degree or made herself love him, but at the end of the day, if it sounded like two people who should have broken up years ago, publicly and privately, but it was too much to lose by doing that. And I feel like you gotta understand how it was in the 90s. Women were setting themselves up for their futures, bro. They weren't just trying to marry anybody, especially somebody of her stature. So it's like, oh, Will's coming up. Will Gary be Will. So I could easily see her setting it up, lining it up where, okay, my future's on the line here. Well, if I blow up on not acting, is irrelevant. This guy is going to be paid for a very long time. So I'm going to hitch my horse to this and see where it rides. Now, you got to understand, if they're doing all that much fighting in the beginning, that thing should have ended years ago. Because it sounded like even when back in the day, they was at it. And this guy been living in Tupac's shadow forever. That thing should have been, he should have moved on years ago. Let's just be honest. You can't fight with so much. Unless you're doing just enough so that he won't leave. I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comments, man. I feel like Jada has shown her hand and has become something else than this loving, doting black queen that we thought she was. And she may be a queen, but they got evil queens too. They got some real evil queens out here that's ruling on their own. I'm going to leave it at that. CLBMG. Let me know what you think in the comments. Go over to the site. Click some of those sponsors we got. Click those links. We got all kind of lifestyle sponsors over there. Make sure you do that. We got new hats, all kind of merchandise right below. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share the video. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
CLB.